Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Um, Welcome back. Welcome back to Wano. Okay, this evening we're going to talk about how can you manage emotions during conflict in relationship. How can you manage emotions? How can you manage your emotions during conflict in relationship? Okay. Um, how many times have you seen someone bruised or physically harmed, especially some ladies, and you're wondering what happened to her, how she allowed such a beating or abuse. I'm talking about domestic violence. Sometimes during arguments, when emotions are running high, if you cannot manage your feelings, if you cannot manage your emotions, you know, how can you maybe like how you control your mouth, what comes out of your mouth? You could invite a beating, an abuser. Understand? So, which is unacceptable. It's not acceptable at all. I'm talking about many times you've seen someone getting bruised, physically harmed, most cases, ladies. You're wondering what happened to her or how she allowed such a beating or abuse. When looking at domestic abuse, domestic violence, you know, when the emotions running high, when the arguments are, like coming from left and right, when your emotions are coming just like pumping up there. Understand how you control your mouth or how you control what comes out of your mouth. If you don't know how to control your mouth, if you cannot control your emotions, if you cannot control what comes out of your mouth, understand, you could invite a beating from abuser, a beating from anyone. Okay, so the question is, how can you manage and stay calm during heated arguments? How can you stay calm? How can you manage and stay calm during heated argument? How can you manage stay calm during heated arguments? Talking about how can you control your emotions during conflict in relationships? Because managing emotions during relationship conflict is crucial for maintaining healthy and constructive communication. Emotions can often go high, talking about too high, running, disagreements, calling names. Emotions can often, you know, you feeling that hot, you feeling someone like, both two of you is heating up, is heating up, is heating up. The emotion is heating up and you don't know what to do. You understand? So you react to argument and all that. Escalation of conflict, everything just coming at the same time. When individuals cannot manage their feelings, when individuals cannot manage their emotions effectively, when it cannot control your emotions, it can result in destructive behavior such as yelling, start blaming each other, or shutting down communications altogether. You get me? And if you cannot control it, it can lead to strain in relationship. It can lead to a lot of things, conflict. Okay. But when you look at emotional regulation in a relationship, it's when if you cannot like the regulations when it comes to emotions, allow individuals to express themselves calmly, rationally, leading to more productive discussion and better problem solving outcomes. But how can you manage emotions? That is the issue. How can you manage feelings when that conflict, when that argument is heating up? Okay, by managing emotions effectively, individuals can do what? They can listen attentively to their partners. They can listen to their boyfriend or the husband. They can listen to the wife so that both of them can find a mutual satisfactory solutions. They can listen to each other. They can come to a compromise. What are we talking about this evening? How can you manage emotions during conflict in relationships? How can you manage that? Especially when that argument is heating up, when everyone is angry, when both of you are talking at the same time. Just then maybe some name calling, yelling, all of that. How can you do that? Because in most cases, it always leads to physical abuse, bruises, physically harm, because you can say something that you cannot take back. You can say something that the other person is going to get very upset, very, very angry. And when they're trying to talk back, or maybe if they cannot control their emotions properly, they cannot control their feelings, you see that they will start using their hands to express their anger. They start beating. They start beating the other person. They start beating the other person. You understand what I mean? So they start causing harm, bodily harm, and all that. How can you manage your emotions during conflict in relationship? That's what we're talking about this evening, and that's what I would like you to help me out so that this live session will going to be to go smoothly. Okay, so the number is on the screen. The number to call is on the screen. +447449823876. That's a WhatsApp number. Okay, so you just call. It's not there's no obligation for you to give your name. You can just call and just say what you have in your mind, say your thought and whatever you want to say. Understand? So that is a that is a number there to call. Or you can put on the comment section, then what's coming up here, you can read them out. You can read them out. Okay. All right. So how can you manage emotions during conflict in relationship? Already said that earlier. Managing emotions during conflict is crucial for maintaining healthy and constructive communication. Talking about emotions can often run high during disagreement, leading to misunderstanding, hurt feelings, and escalation of conflict. But if you can have that emotional regulation, which is very essential in any relationship, okay, because when you have that emotional regulation, it will allow you as an individual to express yourself calmly, express yourself rationally, okay, leading to more productive discussion and better what problem solving outcome. So we're talking about emotional regulation. If you can have it, it can help you out a bit. But in what other ways can we control? In what other ways can you stay calm during heated discussion? In what other ways? How can you control? How can you, like manage? We're talking about managing because most times it's very difficult. It's very, very difficult when, especially when you're angry, when you're upset. You understand what I mean? Maybe the other person did something that you don't like and you want to like, like confront them and talk to them at the same time. Maybe like, you know what I mean? So you try to like communicate, try to relate. And the same person is talking at the same time, and both of you are talking at the same time. The argument is coming, it's going up. Do you understand what I mean? Your emotions are getting high and all that. Leads to conflict, that leads to physical, talking about the other person will start like, using their hands and everything, all that. You understand? But how can you stay calm? In what other way can you do that? That's what we're trying to talk about this evening. And the line is open now. So if you want to call, you can call me now. The line is free. Call one on now on +44 744 982 3876. Call now. The line is free. The line is open. I'd like you to call, or you can put on the comment section. Just send your comment, then we'll have to like read them out. Okay. So how can you manage emotions during conflict in relationship? How can you do that? We're looking at some of the tips. Okay, we can look at some strategies. What you maybe something that you can do or you can use, especially when the argument is heating up. When you know it's got that argument that you cannot control your emotions. You cannot. You're getting upset. Getting. I mean, you're getting worked up. You're angry. You want to express yourself. Okay, there are some ways that you can stay calm and rational during that heated discussions. One of the ways you can do that is you can just take a pause. You can just take what I mean by take a pause. There's one podcast I was listening. I was just watching on my own. I was just like, they were talking about something like this about conflict in relationship and all that. Okay. Go. Yeah, hello, good evening.
Evening. Yeah, want to let my contribution.
Okay.
This topic is very interesting, and it's told mind to control his emotion during conflict. You know, it is not an easy thing. The only thing you need to control it in a relationship. First of all, you have to know, understand,
Yeah.
try know man, know whether you should try to be. So if I can be able to know all those things, then I will know how to follow it or in my relationship. When I know which point, not control my what I need to do. I need to set issue. So you need to need to this is something clear. That get leave that scene.
Mm.
Just be able to leave that scene. It will lead to another thing, which there are some. Once something, women, they can open up their mouth anyhow. And you want to show that seniority,
Mm.
it's big for beating.
Yeah.
And you want to let it is. Whenever such a thing is,
Yeah.
either leave the scenario place or you smile. You know, it's not easy. This time it's not easy to apply, but a matured mind
Mm,
tell yourself what
mm,
if it's not good, own method.
mm,
You know that you do to when you sit down for yourself and know that with all this thing I'm doing, when
mhm,
you take the benefit of it, because you beating women, some women will use it so that it will be difficult to get friends, a permanent relationship.
mhm.
It's a woman. For you to know those things are affecting your relationship, set a boundary.
Okay. It's
Maybe you know yourself how to manage your anger
mhm,
because in a lecture or in a discussion, when that anger wants to move, and when you sense it that it want to approach,
mm,
you take a leave, take a walk, or
mhm,
you find something, you have go out and just leave that uh, thing. Because you need to be able to make that scenario better.
mm.
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. It only takes the grace of God and a matured mind.
Mhm.
And a matured mind, you set yourself anything
Okay.
in relation. Because if you say you cannot relate, brother, it's not easy. You cannot control the emotion.
Mm,
But if you tell it to yourself that I can relate and accommodate, that you can be able to handle the situation. But if you tell yourself you can't, no, it will be very, very hard.
yeah, yeah. Okay. I appreciate that.
Just to set a boundary for yourself, what to like, whenever such a thing as big vaccine, you know, when such a thing want to since I know the women are the weakest person, what I need to do when she's something or anything, I
Mhm.
just need to but to expect to continue hearing all things, you need me to
Varia.
just
May lead to a
when
variation. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for your call. Okay. Yeah. How can you stay calm and rational during heated discussions? How can you manage your emotions during conflict or argument relationship? Okay, that's what we're talking about. So the gentleman called. He said that when he heated up, when there's something like if sensing that they have an argument or he feels maybe it's getting out of hand. Normally, he would take a walk, you know, then he would just leave the scene and then come back later. Okay, so like I was trying to say that I said that I was watching, I was following one podcast like that. They were talking about violence, talking about domestic violence and all that. So, and one of the ladies on the panel, she was saying that the best one of the strategies normally that she noticed maybe she's using mainly when there's an argument or when she feels that it's going to lead to a conflict or something. That know what she normally do. She would just take a sip of water and just put some water in her mouth. So the water will be in her mouth, and then she cannot she's not going to swallow the water. She'll just carry the water in her mouth. You know how if you have something in your mouth, you cannot open your mouth and start talking, especially when you have water. So with that, she will stay calm. You see that she will stay without replying back. She will not say back anything. You understand what she'll be doing? She'll be just be nodding her head and or something like that. That he has helped her a lot. Okay, and that the same thing the gentleman said. Okay, and that's one of the tips, one of the tactics you can, if you want to manage conflict, if you want to manage argument, if you want to stay calm and rational during heated discussions, heated argument, especially in your relationship. Okay, take a pause. When that emotions are running high, when everything, the conflict is there, it's important to pause before responding. That is it. Just pause. Take a breather and relax. You understand what I mean? So this can help you prevent impulsive reactions that can escalate the situation, like escalate that situation further and making that, because you can, with anger, you can say something that you can, I mean, something that you cannot take back, something that you don't mean, and you will escalate the situation. Okay. So it's better you take a deep breath or excuse yourself, like what the gentleman said, excuse yourself for a few minutes, just go out, calm down before coming back or before continuing the discussion. Even if you didn't go out, you can just walk away, say to the person, I'm coming, just give me a minute. Go to the other room and something. Let's calm down. Then you can come back and start the discussion back. Okay, because we are talking now, we are discussing, we are just want to like analyze how you can stay calm, how you can manage that emotions, how you can stay, especially staying calm during heated argument. Okay. So one of the ways is just take a pause, take a deep breath, excuse yourself if possible, and take a minute or take a breather. Just go out there and then come back if you can do that. You understand? So another way you can do that as well is mainly if you've been following us for a while, we normally talk about discussions and active listening. Okay, and most times we always tell family, I tell you guys, like, listen, practice active listening. And that's one of the ways you can as well win this situation. Stay calm in this situation. When you focus really on understanding your partner's perspective or practicing active listening, this involves giving your full attention, paraphrasing whatever they are saying. Okay. You repeat what they are saying back to you. You understand? You just repeat what they said to you back and just like let them do. Is that what you said? So that they will like, they will know that you are listening and you understand what they're saying. Okay. Because when you're doing that, you are validating their feelings. You are not disagreeing on what they're saying. You are validating their feelings. That means you are listening to them. You are listening to their viewpoint. You are listening to whatever they are saying. Okay. You can, with that, you can see that their emotions will calm down a bit. They will feel okay. They will just like, instead of he's talking, she's talking, you're talking back and all that, you understand? It will just like, it's going to be a friction. It's going to be, it will definitely, it will escalate. And some people, you can see that some people, they might not manage their emotions properly. And if they cannot manage their anger, some of them, you see that anything that they touches, they can use it to hit the other person, or they can use their hand, and that's when you see that they have fight and all that physically. One person is going to get harmed, one person is going to get hurt, and with that, you see that it's not good. It's not good. Okay, we're talking about how can you manage emotions? How can you stay calm? That that's the word I want you to get from there, even if you didn't get anything. How can you stay calm during heated discussion? This thing is not only about, it's not only in a relationship. I'm talking about maybe in a couple. It's not only that. You can use this method in every aspect of life, a workplace, anywhere. Can meet some people on the street that they just confront you, you don't know them, and then maybe mistakenly you march on them or hit somebody, and then they will turn back and they're angry. They're shouting at you and all that. So if you can stay calm, you see that it will not escalate. If you can stay calm and listen to whatever they want to say, you can see that it will not escalate. You understand? So that's what we're trying to say here. But we're looking at the relationship aspect of it. When we're talking about, especially in domestic violence, this is one of the things that bring domestic violence. Most times, when you cannot stay calm, when you cannot, monitor or manage what comes out of your mouth, that is when it's going to be difficult for you to manage your emotions. Okay? So look at it this way. Another aspect, maybe another tip that you can get, that you can use to manage or to stay calm during heated discussion, is when you remember that relationship conflict are not about winning or losing, but just finding the middle ground that satisfies both partners. It's not about who wins. It's not about who win the argument. It's not about who is the strongest. It's not about that. Because when it's all about winning, that's when name calling, especially name calling, that's the most important, that's the worst part of it. When you start calling names, when you start disrespecting the other person, it makes the other person angry. It makes them very much angry. So, but once there's an argument, heated argument is coming, and then within your mind, you remember that it's not about who's going to win. That's when you seek that compromise. You know, now you're willing to compromise and find solutions that address both parties. You're looking at the middle ground, because now that you know that you're taking a pause, you're taking a breather, you're not answering back. You just want to listen to what they want to say. You want to know, hear their viewpoint, where they are coming from, whatever is the problem. Okay, it's not that you just want to pass your message across immediately, but you want to diffuse that conflict. You want to diffuse that, the that atmosphere, how that anger that is, maybe the conflict that is going to come into that discussion, that time, that argument. You just want to diffuse it. That's when you start you can use I instead of using you statement. You always you always do this. This is what you always do all the time. You always make me angry. Keep on telling you the same thing every time. You're doing it all the time. You keep on doing it. So instead of you using those kind of words and the person maybe feeling defensive, maybe they feeling that you are accusing them of something, we can just express it in a way that I feel upset when you say something like this. Now it's all about you. You're bringing it to you. It's not about them anymore. You understand? So you see that you're calming them down. You're calming them down. Okay, you're calming them down. Because all we are trying to do is to find a way to manage that conflict, to manage emotions, your feelings. Okay. It's very difficult sometimes for you to stay calm. It's very, very difficult for you sometimes to manage emotions. And I'm talking about is it's not something, it's something that you come to work on. You just have that mindset inside of you that this thing is coming up again. This argument now is going to lead to something else. I know why this thing is going to lead, because now you are aware, you have that knowledge, and now you are trying finding ways now to avoid it. You understand? Because you are no more the same person, because now you got knowledge. You know how to manage it. You know how to stay calm and rational during that heated discussion, and you know that the discussion now, this argument now is gonna get heated up. And then what do? That's when you apply all of these things we are talking about. You stay calm, take a pause, you know, then you practice that active listening to what they're saying. Instead of you using you statement, you use I. You use that I statement. Find out the seek a compromise. Just try to be in the middle. It's not about you winning or him winning or she winning. It's not about to diffuse that conflict, to diffuse that argument, just to be in the middle ground. So that everybody is going to be happy, so that it will not escalate to something else. Do you understand? At the end of the day, both of you will understand each other and come to a compromise. That is what we're trying to say here. Okay. All right, guys. For a while now, we've not celebrated birthdays, and I think we need to celebrate some of our followers, those that are celebrating their birthdays this week. Okay, I got a few people that are celebrating their birthdays there before we continue on what we're discussing this evening. All right, so let's celebrate with them. All right, I have here Nkiru Eze. I have Ruth Jim Okereke. I have Aqua Oku. I have Melissa Rockmeyer and Henewa Yere. Okay, happy birthday, Nkiru Eze. Happy birthday, Ruth Okereke. Happy birthday, Aqua Okoko. Happy birthday, Melissa Rockmeyer. Happy birthday, Henewa Kera. Like I normally say here, whatever you wish yourself, we pray that God will grant you your wishes. Also, don't forget to take yourself out. Go out there, enjoy yourself, and make sure that your birthday is celebrated to the fullest. And be careful in whatever you're doing. Okay? Happy birthday, guys. Happy birthday. Okay, we'll continue on what we are discussing this evening. How can you manage conflict during heated arguments? How can you manage your emotions? How can you stay calm and rational during heated arguments, during heated discussions? Okay, the gentleman called earlier. He said that most times what he normally do, he he walk away. He will just go out and come down, then he will come back again. You understand? And so that's one of the strategies you can do, or you can take a pause. You just like take a breather instead of answering back immediately. You take a breather and then listen to whatever they want to say without replying back. You can validate whatever they are saying. Validate just to get their viewpoint. Okay. And also not to use a you statement, instead use I statement. I feel upset when you do something like this instead of you always making me angry whenever. Okay, so use that I statement. And also try to find that middle ground. It's not about winning. Who is winning? Who is winning? It's not about winning. Oh, okay. The line, like I said, the line is open. You can call me. The line is free. Call one on now on +44 744 982 3876. Call now. The line is free. Okay. And, other ways, other ways you can do that to stay calm. Okay. I pick up something from what Johnson, when he called, he said that he probably set boundaries. Set boundaries. If he cannot excuse himself from that sin, he make sure that he set boundaries and make sure that he take control of the situation. Because if the discussion becomes too heated, unproductive, if you try to do all the things that we're talking about, it's okay. It's okay to set boundaries. I agree to visit the conversations later when everything is calmer, when both of you have cooled down, you guys have calmed down. Do you understand what I mean? everything. You know, maybe you've decided that you want to take a walk. You want to go out. You don't want to stay there. You want to go and take a fresh air. Then calm yourself. Then you come back again. You understand? You set that boundary. I said, okay, okay, okay. Listen, this thing is going to the angle that I will not accept because it might lead to the place that we cannot control each other. We cannot control our emotions. So we cannot control what is happening. Okay. If you can just give me a bit of time, please. I want to just go out. I'll come back. When I come back, then we can continue. Okay, understand. I'm very like, I don't like how I'm feeling now. I need to just go. You understand? I want to come when I calm down. I want you to calm down too. When I come back that time, we can discuss about this. You can see that when you do that, you're taking control of it. And also you're setting that boundary. Then you just go. And this person, before you come back, you see that their anger is already like calm. They're okay. They might not be that angry the same way they were before. Even when you leave now, maybe they start thinking. They'll thinking, maybe they will understand that maybe they are being rational. What they are doing is not really like what they're supposed to do. Understand? They're allowing their emotions to take control of them. And you see, the way they will react when you come back, the way they will talk to you when you come back is going to be quite different from the way they were talking, the way they were behaving that time. It doesn't matter if it's a woman, it doesn't matter if it's the man. You understand what I mean? Whoever wants to be the adult at that time, we just set the boundary, take control of the situation, take a walk if possible. They go out and have a fresh air to calm yourself. Then you come back. You continue from there. What are you trying to avoid? You are trying to avoid that discussion getting heated up to the extent that it don't be escalate to where you start calling each other names. Someone start using their hands, start doing punches and all that, maybe someone getting hurt. You know what I mean? Physically see that they're getting abused or something like that. That's what you're trying to avoid. You understand? Also, for you to understand what they are coming, their viewpoint, what is really their anger, what is really their problem. Because when you are angry, when your emotions are high, you cannot listen properly. You will not get whatever they want to tell you. But now when you're out, you went outside, take fresh air, walk around, come back. Your mind, everything has calmed down. Then when they start talking to you, the way, even their tone of voice will change too. Now both of you will understand each other. You know what I mean? That's what we're trying to, that's what one of the things we're talking about this evening. How can you manage emotions during heated argument, during heated discussion? Okay? To setting boundaries for that. What about maybe sometimes listen, I understand most times, especially men, we have this ego in most cases that the ego might take advantage of how you react. You understand? But once you, especially if you're following us here, if you listen to what we're discussing all the time, you you see that you get that empathy inside of you. You start practicing empathy inside of you. And when there's something like this happening, when you're having this heated argument, you put your you put yourself in your partner's shoes. You put it there. Find out. Just you put yourself in their shoes. Try to understand their emotions and their perspective, where they're coming from. What is it they are talking about? What are we talking about? You practice empathy. You try to feel the pain they're feeling. It might be your actions, things they've been trying to tell you for a while. There's a way women they pass their own message. They want to maybe they want to talk to you sometimes, and then They be telling you something that you've been doing for a while, maybe they don't like. And then you keep repeating it often, repeating it over and over again, without knowing that you're repeating it, doing the same thing over again, and they're getting angry. You understand? And they keep on saying the same thing over and over again. But once you put yourself inside, put yourself in their shoes, try to understand their own emotions, their perspective, where they're coming from. You see that that empathy now can help you now to do what? Get compassion. You get that connection. You see that you understand, especially during that disagreement, during that argument. Then you see where they're coming from, and it will help you as well to stay calm, to listen. Because at the end of the day, if you cannot manage your emotions, cannot manage that situation, it's going to it's going to it's going to affect you, affect the relationship as well. Because in most cases, some women sometimes they will say some things that that will you seriously. There are some things they will tell you that you will. I don't know how to explain it. It's like they just using a dagger to just like pinch your heart straight away. Because what, you know, they are emotional beings. They are emotional beings. I get me also, and it's the same thing. If them too, if they can practice what we are talking about, how to stay calm during discussions, how to stay calm during conflict, how to stay calm during heated argument and all that. If them too can manage that, you can see that they will have that effective communication. Effective communication, that's what we're trying to get here. Communicating to the other person, and the other person will understand where you're coming from. They will understand what you're trying to say. Because at the end of the day, if both of you cannot understand each other, there's no need communicating. No, there's no need you trying to pass around, you maybe send a message or something. The other person will not listen. They will not listen. And the way you say it, the way you want to pass your message across, it matters a lot. Okay. And that's what we normally talk about here, respect. When there's respect, mutual respect between partners, mutual respect in a couple, putting the other person's, you look at them, you put yourself in their shoes. You know that if they talk to you the same way you want to talk to them now, you will not like it. It's going to pay. It's just like something that you will not accept. And you see that when you have that mindset, you will not talk to them anyhow. When you're talking to them, you put respect. You find ways now to talk to them so that they will understand what you're trying to say. Okay? And then you will know when to talk to them. You know the right time to talk. You understand what I mean? So, how can you manage emotions during argument? How can you manage emotions during conflict in your relationship? Okay. We've touched so many places. We talked about practicing empathy, setting boundaries, seeking compromise. I mean, finding the middle ground. Okay. Walking away if possible, taking a breather, stay, I mean, like, take a pause. Then you practice active listening. Listen to find out what they're trying to say. Listen to what they're saying. Okay. And also doing what concurring with them, validating whatever they are telling you. You understand? So those are the things. Those are the things that really, those are ways you can do that. Why am I saying this? Because in most cases, you find out that sometimes people, you cannot do, seriously, you cannot know what you are capable of doing. I mean, until you find yourself in a situation where it looks as if maybe someone is matching on your ego, when someone is talking to you as if maybe you're a kid, they're trying to belittle you. They're trying to make you feel as if you are nobody. And that's when it becomes something else because all that your calmness and everything, you will not know when the other side of you, I mean, talking about your behavior, your nasty behavior will come out of you. You start, like, do you know what I mean? That you start behaving in a way that you, if someone tell you that you are the one that you behave that way, you say, no, it's not you because now your anger have taken control. Anger have like already like, taking control of that situation. So in order to like protect yourself, protect your ego, you overreact. And most cases, people they overreact with what? Being violence. They just being violent, just like using their hands and anything. They start beating person up. You know what I mean? Because of what? They couldn't manage their emotions. They couldn't control their emotions. They couldn't control their feelings, and because of that, they overreact. Okay, so we're trying to talk about this evening. How can you manage your emotions during conflict in relationship? Or that, you know, not that. When you walk away, you know what? Can you walk away? Can you walk away? When you're talking about walking away, sometimes when you walking away, there's a way you would do that as well. It looks as if maybe you're being disrespectful. You're being disrespectful. Okay. And that's what we're talking about here. We're just talking about talking to you as a grown up. We just like understand, know when, know how to do it. Understand? Talk to your partner. Let them understand that this thing is getting out of hand. Just give me some time. I'll come back. We're going to revisit this discussion. We're going to talk about this later. Just give me a few minutes. I'm coming back. They might not be happy. They might not be happy, but you know what you're avoiding. You know why you want to go. You know why that you need that few minutes just to calm yourself down so that them too, they can calm down. They can calm down. Okay. Because especially as a man, once you once you couldn't control your emotions and then it gets to a stage where you use your hands, you become violent. You cannot take it back. You cannot take it back. How do I mean? You seriously, it's something that is unacceptable, especially using it on your partner or even your girlfriend, using your hands instead of communicating. Now you're using your hands. It's unacceptable. You understand? You've saw that maybe like your respect is out of you just messed up your respect. It's out of the window. That respect that you normally get. You can't get that. There's no way you've gone. You lose that respect. Once you use your hands, you become physically. I'm talking about physical with this person. You beating them up. Understand? You've lost it. You've lost it. And that's the reason why we're trying to avoid it. You don't want a situation where instead of you now to communicate to each other, understand what is happening, now what you'll be doing is begging. You're begging for being violent. You're begging for using your hands. You're begging now to regain your respect back. Because a little thing that happens in the future, she will turn around and say to you, you want to beat me up again? You want to beat me up again? It doesn't matter how many years. You're still going to use it. because you've done it, because you couldn't manage your emotions, you couldn't control your feelings, and you allow your anger to get the better of you, which is not good. And that's what we're trying to discuss. That's what we're trying to make sure that it will not happen. Okay, it will not happen. So what we're saying is that once there's a heated argument, once that argument started, once it's coming up, and you find out that it's getting out of hand to the extent that you can't handle it, you can't control yourself. If possible, walk away. Let them know that this at the moment how things are going is out of hand now. You need to take a breather. We'll come back. We'll have to continue on what we were discussing. Just give me a few minutes. I'll come back. You just find a way to leave that scene. Go so that you calm down, and she too, she will calm down. You handle the situation. Okay. So when you come back again, then you guys can do from that. Okay. But if conflict if it persists despite all of these things we talk about, if all the effort to manage emotions, you try everything, and it keeps on happening all the time. You try everything, even when you want to go out, this person will not allow you to go out. You want to open the door, they will hold the door that you're not going anywhere. To the extent that some of them they start holding your clothes or something. Okay, you beat me up. I want you to beat me. I want you to beat me. What is it you have to do? Because they want you to they want to resolve that issue immediately. And you know that the argument is heating up, and it's getting out of hand, and you want to walk away, they will not allow you to walk away. When you get to that stage, and you know that you cannot control it anymore, I think the best thing to do is, if possible, you consider seeking help of a couple therapist or counselor who can guide you guys, especially improving your communication skills and resolving conflicts constructively. Because what you guys are lacking in that relationship is communicational skills. It's how to communicate, okay? How to resolve conflict, especially during heated argument. You understand? And then you know that it's out of your hands. You can't do anything. Both of you, you find ways when she calm down or when you calm down. You guys can discuss it. Say to listen, this thing has been happening for a while now, and it's getting better of both of us. Every time we have argument, we are both of us are angry. Nobody listens to each other. Okay, is you know, can we seek help? Can go to your pastor or counselor or therapist. You guys can look for. Even there are some mentors talking about elderly people that you guys can like go to ask them how they normally do whenever they having heated argument. People that you know that you can say that they are role models. They can guide you. You understand? Because at the end of the day, any way that you can use to manage your emotions, manage that conflict, manage whatever that is happening. Okay? It's a win. It's a win for both of you, especially for you two to have that healthy relationship. Okay? So by implementing all these tips and strategies that we already talk about, individuals can enhance their emotional intelligence. Talking about, conflict resolution skills and all that, especially effective communication, active listening, all the whole things that we talked about. Once you start implementing all those things, you can nurture that healthy relationship based on mutual respect and understanding. If not all the time, we talk about it here. Mutual respect, both of you respecting each other. There's nothing that you cannot achieve in that relationship. Once there's mutual respect, once there's both of you, two of you can respect it, you guys are respecting each other, you can achieve anything. You understand? That is the basic. That is the most important thing that you need. Okay. All right, guys. This is where we're going to stop this evening. And if you are with us to this time, I will appreciate you. Say to you, thank you. And also, it's the first time you're coming across one, no? And you have not followed us on Facebook or on TikTok or Instagram. You've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. Okay, it's one on YouTube, one on Facebook, got one on TikTok. Then if you go into Instagram, is a Bevis Apacino on Instagram. All right, guys. Okay, just make sure that you share this program. If what we are doing here, you like what we're doing, all we ask from you is just for us to just give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Just go there, like the program. That's it. That's all. You understand? Okay. On that note, I will see you guys next Friday if God tarries. Also, if you want to join us on TikTok, you can join us TikTok live. We're going to be going live in half an hour. We'll go live on TikTok. So if you want to join us there, you can join us there. Other than that, I'll see you next week Friday. Have a wonderful weekend and God bless.